All right. So, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming to our monthly Celebrating Light call, which is a clearing call. It is us getting together. I'm joined with some of our amazing certified practitioners, and tonight it will be in order of appearance, Linda Green and then Martha Brissenden after myself. And we really are just moving through whatever we have been guided in advance of the call, whatever we have been guided to bring to surface and move through together. To best support us, tonight's call is about tapping into the inner stillness. Every call, we could say, is to support that. Tonight, we're going, right to the core there and saying, that is what this is about. Mind field repatterning is a specific healing system that is purpose to the collapse of patterns, thoughts, beliefs, emotions, feelings, and other factors that we've been holding on to unconsciously that keep us in limitation in any area of life, whether it's health, whether it's relationship, whether it's our work, whatever it is, we play out limitation here. And so as we release these patterns, something that's commonly noticed and given back as feedback is a greater sense of lightness, a greater sense of true self, connecting with who we really are rather than the stories we've held on to and created a small sense of self out of. And as we let go of attachment, as we find patterns and release what comes up, we tend to have greater and greater peace. Sometimes external things change right away, of a form of something we're experiencing. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's gradual. Sometimes we may not see a situation change because perhaps it's in our highest good along our self-chosen spiritual path, our curriculum. But we have greater peace and we're in acceptance, and it changes everything. It changes our whole experience of life and all aspects of it when we're in our natural state, when we're at peace. Quite often, external situations shift as a reflection of what I've changed internally. As Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world, because as I take responsibility for being that, it is the greatest gift that I can offer the whole to assist in shifts in the world, because we are of one mind. And so just a note on that, just getting us started here. And I would like to invite everybody now. Let's dive in together. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable with it. If you want to keep them open, that's fine too. We have a beautiful image on the screen. And I invite you to go into the breathing though. Take a nice full breath. No special way, just nice, regular full breath. Just breathing in and paying attention to the sensation of the breath moving into the body and the sensation of the breath leaving the body. And we'll do a few cycles like this. We're giving the mind something to do other than thinking, so it quiets the thinking mind and it helps us be in a receptive state where we're able to receive shifts, to let go of what doesn't serve us anymore, where we're able to even notice that. So taking a few more breaths, and let's take a nice breath in and then pause for a few seconds. And then fully exhale, releasing any stress, any resistance, any pressure that you've been feeling in life in any way. Breathing fully out, taking a pause before the next in-breath. With each in-breath opening, expanding, pausing, feeling the body, feeling a sense of the space around you, the sense of the space that we're sharing together with the in and out breath. And so now we join and we turn our time over to divine guidance, to the inner voice, which is represented by the stillness within us. How do we know that we are tapped into, that we're tuned into higher guidance, the inner voice? We feel at peace. It's actually really quite simple. We're not thrown off. We're not feeling stressed out. We're just at peace, no matter what's going on in the world around us, whether it feels like our personal situations or global, or it's all the same, really. Quiet the inner mind and life changes. The way we experience life changes. So just this simple act of putting awareness on the breath and breathing in and out is such a great starting point. And so with some awareness on your breath and on the sense of being here, and in inviting your awareness to simply observe the feeling of your body, the feeling state beyond the body of the space that we're sharing, as we move through some things together. And so I'll start us out. We're going to release fear of letting go of attachment to our ego identity, the thoughts, the beliefs, all of the conditioning, because that's what it is, that we have grown a sense of self around, who I think I am, what I think of the world and others in it. We'd simply release attachment to this small self-image, the ego self, and we release fear of letting go of it. It is this perceptual identity, because that's how it operates, it perceives, it creates images based on conditioning in the mind, and then perceives the world and all experiences through that, through the lens of our individual filters. And that's what keeps us in separation and keeps us in suffering, cycles of suffering, birth, death, illness, really challenges and limitations. So we're just letting go. See yourself opening your palms, perhaps, and just releasing any attachment you've been holding on to ego self, just letting it go to the light. I let it go. As I do, I avail myself to feel lighter and brighter and freer, to be more in my natural state, which is creative, not simply living out unconsciously reruns from the past. I open and avail myself to something new, to this moment, to creative nature that is my true self. Letting this go, reversing ill effects, and opening us up to simply move through everything we're called to move through today with greater ease and grace. Now we're going to bring in, and we're using, as we move through these movements together throughout this call, we are creating through the spin of a pendulum with our conscious intent and working with light information, always changing form. And with the spin of our pendulum, we're able to create a field that helps break down, collapse old patterns, limiting patterns, because they were never part of us to begin with, never defined us. And truly, we can let them go. We create this span because it allows for a field to assist that is very helpful in carrying information, collapsing the patterns we're intentionally collapsing, and opening to the field of pure potential. So now, as we do this, we're going to bring in our awareness, connecting with higher self-awareness. I have given myself permission to let go of attachment to the ego. I now give myself permission and direct myself to connect, to be open to connect with higher self-awareness, to be able to tap into and tune into the divine guidance that is the source of the inner stillness within. I connect and simply direct myself. And if you're not feeling something specific, it's okay. Just the openness to receive and the willingness is all we ever need do. I open myself, I expand. I give myself permission to connect with higher self-awareness, opening myself to receive inspiration, to tune in to divine guidance, not separate from myself, always available, supporting inner stillness within and my being able to touch base with that. And we bring in awareness and raise awareness. Each one of us has freedom to choose peace over fear. There's only love or fear. Love is our true nature, and it is tuned into higher guidance. Fear is everything else. Anything that seems to take our peace away, any idea, thought, feeling that seems to take our peace away is not part of our natural state, and it is small self-created based on a consciousness that is working on limitation, the ego consciousness. So this is reminding us, I remind myself that moment by moment, I am free to choose love over fear, peace over non-peace. No force, no effort. By just reminding myself of my freedom, it opens me to higher guidance. If not in the moment, the practice of this, of reminding myself this, starts to take root in my conscious and subconscious mind even, and becomes a pattern of freedom where I become the conscious director of my thoughts and my actions in life, rather than asleep at the wheel, operating unconsciously through small self identity. I can choose peace over non-peace, love over fear. Just starting us out with these, and I'll ask Linda to take us from here.
Thank you, Erina, for that beautiful introduction and grounding. When we connect now, I'm connecting into our collective consciousness, the group's consciousness, but also the complete consciousness of this planet. When we understand that we are all connected on one level, all of us connected, we are the anchors when we hold the peace. We are the anchors for all of the collective humanity. All of this discordant energy, when we hold our space and our peace, we are able to help bring that frequency to all who exist on the planet. So we are all doing a service when we focus on the peace that we are, the peace that resembles that of the source. The source is full of peace, love, unconditional love, and that we're all one with the source, with every human being on this earth. And we are here today to help shift and dissolve all blocks, all beliefs, all programming, all limitations and all fears, known and unknown, conscious and unconscious, to remember, to understand, to claim who we really are, the embodiment of that source, peace and unconditional love. And the first thing I want to clear is all imbalanced masculine and feminine energy. The whole planet is built on polarities, masculine and feminine, light and dark, cold and hot. And the imbalanced masculine and feminine, this has gotten out of balance in the past, and it's getting more balanced these days, but it's still coming up as something that needs to be cleared so that we are completely more balanced, aware of the strength that we have, that we're not a feminine that can't do anything, that we are also a feminine that has strong energy. And we're not a masculine who can't feel emotions. We're a masculine that feels emotions. We understand, we allow ourselves to be soft, and as women, we allow ourselves to be creative and take action. And as men, we allow ourselves to be calm, to focus on some of the deeper things, the nighttime, the moon, all these different reflections of how we can come balanced so that we can walk this earth completely balanced, again, holding that, almost even feeding the earth with the energy of balance. What we put into the crystalline grid at this time is going to be part of what the future holds. So who we are, what we think, how we are right now is a very important contribution to the earth. So our effort to be cognizant of the place that we are at this moment in time, our contribution can be much, and it can be done alone. It can be done in a group. There's nothing special we have to do except be conscious of how we're thinking, what we're holding on to, old beliefs about whose role is what, and how to be in a new world where all is balanced and at peace. And also, in order to heal ourselves, it is important that we heal any unhealed areas of our relationship with Mother. Mother, the mother that we have, even the fact that in the past God has been called He, missing the mother. So the unhealed relationship with Mother, even mothers that we are or were, our own condemnation of the fact that maybe we didn't think we did it right enough, removing all patterns that we did it wrong in any way, that we didn't just do our best with the beliefs, the thoughts, the ideas, and the circumstances that we had at the moment, that we were always doing the best we could with what we had at the time. And also remembering that same thing for our mothers who, sure, they were less than perfect, and their mothers were less than perfect. So to heal all that was healed, all the times we didn't feel loved, there's this expectation of mothers. There's this very strong expectation of mothers that mothers need to be more perfect, more loving, or a certain way. And they're just people. We're a people. I'm a person, you're a person. Many of us have been mothers. And we understand the pressure there is to be a certain way as a mother. That doesn't mean that's who we are always. But to heal anything, any belief that our mother was less than, doing the best she could at the moments that she did them, and healing her pain from not getting enough love, understanding, or compassion from her own mother, and bringing in the love of Mother, a healed, healthy mother. Imagine how that feels to have been nurtured by someone who saw you, felt you, cared about what you were feeling, understood you. But we can do that for ourselves. We can mother ourselves. We can hold ourselves. We can just be the mother in so many ways that we wanted to ourselves. It's a very powerful way of being. And also, we're going to move into now any EMF interference that is limiting our ability to feel at peace. All that noise, all of those frequencies, the 5Gs, the cell towers, Wi-Fi, the meters, removing all of that electromagnetic frequency from our field, putting a shield up around ourselves. I bought myself an EMF hat. I'm going to see if that affects shielding even more. So taking conscious steps to do what I can to protect my field, to protect my energy, knowing that we are source creators and that we can protect ourselves with our thoughts, our minds, and our beliefs. Collapsing all patterns of EMF interference into pure light potential, reversing all ill effects, and filling all voids with love. And there's also an idea that we should spend more time at this moment in history, in this world cosmic shift we're going through, that we've all agreed to be part of, to meditate, to learn to meditate in a peaceful way. And sometimes that meditation is walking. You walk, you observe, you see the birds, you feel the earth beneath your feet. It's a walking meditation. It calms me just talking about it. How close and wonderful it is when we have our beautiful earth, green, birds, even bugs. I've learned to love bugs after our desert had no rain for a long time and the bugs were missing. And when the bugs are missing, what do the birds eat? So I'm grateful for bugs. I'm grateful for the earth, and I'm grateful for the walking meditation of the beauty that this world has given us. And to also be aware and shift any patterns of mind control. Mind control can come in so many forms. Mind control can come in an advertisement. Mind control can come in a YouTube video. Mind control can come from news. Mind control can come from invisible things. Mind control can come from the frequencies that are in this world, but not of this world. So we shift all patterns of mind control, knowing that we are, again, our source creator, and that we have the power to control mind, overcome mind control, to remember who we are, to stay grounded to the earth. So we bring in that great earth energy, keeping grounded to the earth, keeping grounded to our intuition, our own knowing. And when we sense that something isn't right or we're feeling something that isn't us, to refuse to let it move in, to keep it at bay, collapsing all patterns of mind control and turning it over to the light, collapsing it into pure light, reversing all ill effects, and reminding us of who we really are, the source that we are. This is a time for us to claim ourselves. And as Erina was called to ego identification, that also came up for me to clear. So it's a big one right now, to clear all ego identification, ideas that were separate from you from me or me from anyone else, to get puffed up, or alternatively to become less than. And the ego tells us we're no good, that we collapse all of these patterns of ego identity into pure light, and remembering who we are with softness and kindness and love, filling all voids with love. And again, just wrapping yourself in a bubble of protection, a bubble of love. I see pink, I see gold wrapped in that bubble of love all around you, pink and gold swirling through you, nurturing you, making you feel at peace and in love with yourself. And we're also going to stabilize and bring in and neutralize the neurotransmitters. These are affected by genetics, they're affected by diet and stress. And when your neurotransmitters are out of balance, you might feel some, the mood. Your mood is less than you want it to be, and your behavior is less than you want to be. So we're going to spin in now that these neurotransmitters be 100% balanced so that you have that extra support, that your bodies and the chemicals in your bodies are working with you so that you're able to feel better. You're able to feel that peace more. When your chemistry, your neurotransmitters are balanced, you feel more calm, you feel more at peace. So we bring this neurotransmitters, we up to 100% working. You can just feel them moving through your body, firing, working so good. It just feels so good to know that the chemicals and the neurotransmitters in your body are so balanced and that you are in joy, that you have this life and this body that works for you every moment of the day, every moment that we've been on this earth. And also bringing in today passion and confidence and commitment, and that we have passion for life, or that being we have passion to hold peace. We have a passion for even a sunset or a beautiful scenery, and that we feel confident in who we are, allowing ourselves to enjoy our own greatness, our own magnificence. How beautiful that feels to remember who we are, that we are Source itself embodied on this earth, and our commitment to remember our oneness, and to remember our part as light workers on this planet, to hold that energy, to be the lighthouse, to do our best to bring a positive attitude when we can, and to trust ourselves if we're feeling something, that we allow ourselves healing. So a commitment to understand self, to not judge self, no matter what we're going through, no matter what we're feeling. So we bring in this passion, confidence, and commitment. And we're also being asked to integrate all of our current skills. So at this point in our reality, we have learned many different things. We've learned how to communicate. We've learned how to talk to people. We've learned how to put boundaries around ourselves. We've got so many skills, so many abilities, the way we communicate, the way we look at people, the way we open our heart, to integrate the skills that we've achieved over the years we've been walking this earth, to bring them in, to integrate them, to feel the embodiment of that. And I want you to consider all new possibilities. We're going to spin in this ability to consider new possibilities. This will help you have a better alignment to your life purpose. Consider new possibilities. That's just like stretch your imagination, just stretch yourself. We are creating a new reality. Let's stretch it. I've been trying to consider, how do I create something I don't already see? How do I bring forth something new, something I haven't seen, to really stretch my mind and to see what else we can create, what colors, what frequencies, what flowers, what garden, how can we create in our own imagination? So to stretch our own possibilities, new job skills, new painting, new art, new ways with your garden, anything that you can think of that will stretch the possibilities. I am guided also to a wisdom code. These have been given by Greg Braden. And the wisdom code, there's two that wanted to come in today. And this one, the first one, is a word. So the wisdom code is a word, and the word is Katha Upanishad. And what this stands for is that the soul is not born, nor does it die. It does not spring from something, and nothing sprang from it. It is unborn, eternal, immortal, and ageless. It is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. And we're going to left spin the fear that is associated with this. And the fear is the uncertainty and the universal fear that we cease to exist after death. But we live forever. We live in different realities, different life forms, different dimensions. So to remind us of that is the word Katha Upanishad, Katha Upanishad. And also Wisdom Code 7, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. And this is similar, very similar. So it seems it's important for us to know this. Again, the soul is never created, nor does it ever die. The soul is without birth, eternal, immortal, and ageless. It is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. And we're going to spin out the fear, the universal fear of annihilation and the primal fear of non-existence. To know that you live forever, and that your reality is guaranteed, and that what we learn as a soul, we take with us in all lifetimes, in all realities. So there's nothing to fear. So taking care of all of that. And also bringing in the throat chakra came up. And the throat chakra is the sixth dimensional geometry of expression, that we live in truth. So many of us suffer from the illness of niceties, which is that we're too nice and we don't speak our truth. And this throat chakra wants us to live in truth. And it can affect the neck vertebrae, your teeth, your periodontal jaw, the esophagus, the larynx, the thyroid, and the parathyroid. And what we want to do is be aligned in purpose, a healthy self, speaking truth with good communication. And again, could affect so when your throat. So I want you to imagine while I'm doing this, a beautiful robin's egg blue, and your throat chakra expanding and growing, and feel that clearing and open up, and the fearlessness to speak truth. And when you do, you will also maybe want to play the note of G that brings in and represents the throat chakra. And the crystals that also hold that frequency are kyanite, sodalite, and lapis. And the element for this throat chakra number 5 is ether. So bringing in ether, feeling our throat chakra open, feel it spinning and supporting you. Feel yourself feeling the confidence to speak your truth gently, kindly, consideration, but yet your truth. And we're so grateful that we could bring these in today, and I turn it over to Martha.
Thank you, Linda. So we're beginning with the quote from Rumi. He has a beautiful quote that we always have on our global clearing calls, is there is a field beyond wrongdoing and right doing, and I will meet you there. We bring that in. So we're joined together this evening to awaken that memory of this field through mind field repatterning tonight. We take responsibility for the healing of our minds to where we are blocking this field of Rumi's. So tonight I was pulled to and drawn to clearing a pattern of overwhelm for this evening. So I'm sure we've all been in that place of overwhelm when our mind tells us we have too much to do, a lot of things to get accomplished, especially when there's time of change, seasonal change, Christmas, in the near future and stuff. We just, especially in the sleep state when we go to bed and our minds can't shut off because we think we have so much to do. So we're bringing that in for clearing for tonight so that we can bring ourselves back into our stillness. So calling in for tonight the assistance of the Buddha, bringing us awareness, heightened awareness, and reminding us, make peace with your thoughts and with your world. So we bring the assistance of the Buddha in. Yes. And we also call in the powerful healing benefits of the fire opal for enhancing our personal power, to assist us through periods of experiences we go through without overwhelm. So letting our minds go now to any place where we remember overwhelm or feeling overwhelm, holding out overwhelm. And again, quite often it's in our sleep state where it pops up when we think we have so much to do. So we now clear ourselves in all time frames and dimensions of all limiting beliefs, patterns, and other factors held in the mental realm from all aspects of our being, physical and non-physical, collapsing these patterns back into light, reversing all the ill effects that overwhelm has caused for us in all time frames and dimensions. We now bring all the limiting karmic patterns and unconscious agreements related to overwhelm to completion now, releasing ourselves and all others globally to be free to start anew. We send the benefits of this clearing out to the whole, realizing that as we heal, we never heal alone because we are one. And now we're taking overwhelm to a deeper level now. And again, we have our guides here of the Buddha and the crystal of the fire opal. And we're just going to now, in addition, bring in the flower of life, just reminding us that we all are one. We're all a single point of light, joined together as the light. We also bring in our Merkaba, our personal Merkaba, spinning off any resistances we're holding in our body, any tension, giving it that job for today, anywhere we're holding all this. We also call in the labyrinth to remind us of letting go of all the deep-rooted stories, because all these deep-rooted stories are from our past and they keep us stuck. So we just let them all release. And as we shut the doors on those labyrinth paths, we open new pathways. We welcome them in for our clearing tonight. So we bring that in. And so now we release from all non-beneficial patterns, whether these patterns are conscious to us or unconscious, whether they're physical or non-physical, whether they're visible or invisible, that we've been holding, relating to the life arena of overwhelm. We release all emotions and all emotional triggers that hold this energy in. We release the energy around the trigger of demolished, feeling demolished. We also let go of the emotional trigger of obligated, letting that energy release, and internalize what we do with our minds. Internalize over and over again. We let all these emotional triggers release that have been holding in overwhelm. We now move into the fear, and the fear that came up is the fear of letting go in all areas where we're holding on. Resistance to change, just the fear we hold. As we know, when we have a fear, we push it out. It's too fearful to look at, so we just bring it in now for release. Letting go of this fear of letting go. We now move into where we'd be holding this overwhelm and these energies around demolished and obligated. We release it from our joints, small joints, large joints, just letting it release, as well as our small intestine, where we absorb, we take on, bring in nutrition, bring in life to absorb life. We let this go from our small intestine. and anywhere else that we're holding in any other factor that is creating an imbalance in this life arena that we're called to of overwhelm. Anywhere that it's creating an imbalance, our relationship, how we see overwhelm, how we get entangled and entwined with it. We collapse all these patterns back into pure light potential now, and we expand awareness of love into all the perceived voids, reversing all the ill effects. We now repurpose these experiences to collapsing the illusion of separation and now moving it into serving for our awakening. So we now accept and acknowledge and bring in the virtue of freedom, asking the virtue of freedom to integrate this in all beneficial ways with this overwhelmed pattern. Freedom. This helps us with tapping into our inner stillness tonight. So we integrate freedom in all beneficial ways throughout all our relationships, feeling free. So now we'll just release a little bit deeper, going deeper to release all unconscious beliefs below our level of awareness, letting go of all fears, resistances, including resistance to change, clearing all memories, emotions, blocks, everything that's holding us this pattern of overwhelm. We clear all vows and agreements we've made that are not allowing us to break free of the pattern of overwhelm. We let these go to the light. We now move into judgments, and we let go of the judgments that we hold. Judgments of ourselves, judgments of others, and just judgments in general of situations that continually keep us in overwhelm. These are all given to the light. Letting that go to the light. And now we bring in the forgiveness prayer. And with the forgiveness prayer, with everything we cleared with overwhelm, we're also going to put in forgiveness for ourselves and where we perceive a lack of freedom. So telling ourselves, opening our hearts and accepting, I love you. I'm so sorry for all your suffering. We have all suffered through limited consciousness ego, as Erina helped us clear earlier, and Linda. Please forgive me for all my misperceptions of you outside myself as well as myself. Thank you for this opportunity to go deep within to heal my mind. And now we're going to move into bringing in a rate of 55744. And this rate is to release the fear of love that we hold, to awaken to heart intelligence. We bring this rate of 55744 into our field, into our mind, just bringing it in to help release the fear we hold of love, to awaken to heart intelligence, which will help us moving into our focus. Our theme for tonight is tapping into our inner stillness. Beautiful. We're just going to bring in just something to also support us for tonight's theme. And it is, as I direct my mind back to peace, all aspects of my being, of my life must respond. As I direct my mind back to peace, all aspects of my being, of my mind, must respond. We're also going to bring in a color now. We're going to bring in the color of electric violet, this thick elixir. We're going to bring it in. It comes in from the high self. It comes in through our crown. Electric violet, this elixir, has a consciousness of its own. It knows exactly what needs to be done. So we just allow the high self to bring this into our crown chakras now, and allow this thick electric violet to move through us as an elixir through the crown and through all chakras, and allowing it to do what it needs to be done. It knows what to do, so we allow that to happen for us now. Thank you, and I'll pass it back to you, Erina. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Uh, Linda, Martha, thank you so much. I'm not sure why the screen, I don't know if you're seeing an image still on your end, but it's just black here, but I'm not going to mess around with it because we're on a roll now. So maybe this is an invitation to close your eyes if they've been open. Anyway, just beautiful releases and shifts, and to continue going with that. We are going now. I'm going to invite you, first of all, to take a moment and feel whatever is going on for you in the body, in the field, and your overall sense of well being. We've moved through some beautiful shifts together, opening up to greater awareness, to access the stillness within us that is always there, and releasing that which has been held as distortions, if you will, whatever thoughts and beliefs and stories we have been holding on to that seem to take our peace away. We could appropriately say that they are ego created on an unconscious level often, simply as distortions of our wholeness, just keeping us in a place of really small self and limitation. So we have just been opening up and letting go of factors that have come up for our group tonight. And again, and it's been spoken, is that everything that we are shifting, everything we're called to move through, is indeed a gift to the whole simultaneously, because we are one. So right now we're going to expand and extend everything that we have been sharing so far. We're going to clear our aura and all subtle bodies, all aspects of the aura, of any and all distortions, any blockages, anything that would dim the light. The aura is our calling card, if you will, energetically expanding beyond the body and representing us showing up in the world and connecting with one another. And the aura has different aspects of it, although everything works together simultaneously, that help filter in and transmute what would be beneficial to transmute as we are in relationship with all fields all the time, and couldn't possibly maintain this physical form and this sense of being moving through a given lifetime if we were just willy-nilly taking in all this information all the time without organization, without being able to transmute what needs to be transmuted, reflect what needs to be reflected, to really be able to, if you will, receive, interact with, and optimize in a way that we can be with it, information coming in. And so we've had a bunch of things cleared already tonight to support us with this. And now we're clearing the aura, all aspects of our energy field as the aura. And we're going to expand and extend this to our whole light body, to our chakras, all of our chakras. Some have been mentioned, to our meridian system, to our DNA, all aspects of the light body, simply clearing all limiting patterns, anything that would hinder or limit an optimal function of our light body, supporting us, therefore, on all levels. As we were moving through everything tonight, we also gave note to neurotransmitters, healthy neurotransmitters. And to add to that, we're simply clearing the neural network, the pathway of our nervous system and brain throughout and the pathway throughout the body and our whole neurologic system. The neural network, our information highway of what has come in to this apparent physical form, which is all energy anyway, but what's circulating through us and what we have become familiar with. We're simply clearing the neural pathways, our nervous system pathways, of all those patterns that we've become accustomed to that are limiting in nature, that have held us in limitation, in a small sense of self, with busy-mindedness part of this, unable when we're in ego consciousness or small self-awareness, unable to tap into the stillness within because the mind is not still. It is when we quiet the mind and we shift our pathways and we put our focus on choosing peace over non-peace, love over fear, that we're able to come to that place where we are fully in safety and security within that stillness, within the God self, we could call it, the connection to source, to all that is. We are all part of that, but we have not been playing in that playground, if you will, consciously. So we have been playing limitation on this plane. We now clear our grounding cord, that which connects us with the earth. We clear all patterns of fear, anything that has been passed through the ancestral lineage, memories of other lifetimes and stressful situations, traumatic memories that would have me feeling unsafe to be in physical form and connected with earth, consciously or unconsciously. We clear the grounding cord that connects us with the very center of the earth and the heartbeat, the Schumann wave, of any and all stressful, traumatic, limiting memories, collapsing everything back into light, reversing ill effects. Since we are giving a nod to clearing ancestral memories as well, we expand and mention that everything we're clearing, we are offering a gift to our ancestral lineage, expanding and extending this back as far as the lineage goes, and knowing it is also everything we are shifting is a gift to the collective. We're just expanding our awareness and reminding ourselves of all of this as we speak this. Beautiful. We now release all patterns of unworthiness, shame, or guilt. Anything that has been keeping us locked into small self-identity or projecting out unworthiness, shame, and guilt onto others, seeing others that way. It's two sides of the same coin. We're simply letting it go, collapsing it. We are one. There's no one and nothing separate. As within, so without. We are simply making a choice to heal the mind, to open the heart, and therefore give this instantaneously as a gift to the whole, shifting patterns on the spot. That we are all connected to having played out. We release fear of knowing true self, fear of stillness, fear of the quiet, fear of truth. We recognize that in this fear, and any time we are playing out ego self, it is because we are afraid to let love in. We are afraid to recognize love at the core. That is what generates our experience as conditioned self, as ego self. An unconscious fear, of fully showing up as love, of fully remembering love as who we are and what everything is constituted of. We clear fear around fear, sadness, trauma, any limiting emotions, thoughts, beliefs, and other factors around illness, around the idea of death and loss of loved ones. We simply collapse this. Truth is, there is no loss. And spirit goes on forever. We are not these bodies. And we may miss, and we allow ourselves to go through emotions that arise. We may have a sense of missing someone we were close to as they leave the physical body. But we can remind ourselves, in truth, they are always present because that's how it works. There's no separation. There really isn't a separation between what we would say separate dimensions, other realms. It's all part of us. It's all accessible. When we're in the present moment and we avail ourselves to the stillness within, is when we connect with all aspects of creation. When we can share and receive communication in whatever ways we are experiencing in the moment. And this happens with the stilling of the mind and the openness to receive. And we bring in this awareness, the vibrations of this truth. In quiet, I am directed in what to do, where to be, who to speak with, and what to say. I am confident through the peace and spontaneity that accompany me throughout the day. When we choose to quiet the mind, when we choose peace over non-peace, love over fear, we have access in the stillness to the guidance that is always part of us, always there. Divine guidance coming to us, through us. Receive this and see how it feels within. In quiet, I am directed in what to do, where to be, who to speak with, and what to say. I am confident through the peace and spontaneity that accompany me throughout the day. If I am not in peace, if I am unclear, confused, I can choose to tune in to the voice. I can choose to remember in stillness that I am, and that is all inclusive. We are all that, the I am. And so we give great thanks for our guidance for this time together tonight. I give great thanks to our facilitators, Linda and Martha, and to all of you who are on this call and sharing this with us. You are every bit as much a part of this as those of us that have been speaking. So thank you so much for this joining. You are so appreciated. And I hope you have been able to, through our time together, feel that stillness, feel that peace within. The recording to this call will be available should anyone want to have this recording to listen to again or to share with those that you know. And so it is. And so with that, I will say again, thank you. And, good night and continued blessings and divine guidance. It is our natural state indeed. Right.